Hey, I'm Kev, and welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the rider career as Patrick McDonald is flying on the Leopard in the second half of this season, and then into Malaysia has a chance of grabbing the title lead. So here we are at the Sepang International Circuit, and as you can see, it's been raining, as usual round here. And as Patrick McDonald prepares for two that he knows, a victory here means he will lead heading into the season finale at Valencia and have a real chance at grabbing the Moto3 title, as he has been virtually unstoppable in the second half of this season. Since Bruno, only once at Silverstone did he mess up. And Sepang has normally been a good circuit for McDonald, so let's see if Patrick McDonald can continue in the tradition. As with the wet conditions, of course, that will help us. He's already a 10th of a second up, and it's gone out very late in this session. Only 15 minutes remaining. Everyone else go out there with, as you can see, the sun in the sky, some clouds, but the track hopefully drying up slightly as the session goes by. That's why he's out a bit later. Almost been held up on this qualifying effort, at least his first lap. Of course, he's still got one in the bag. And he's lost the 10th there, seems to being held up. And using all the curve through the right-hander. Not afraid of them being set through after all this rain. And on the circle, which is a bit kind of maybe opponent's rise. With all the rain as well, it's all the ingredients for Patrick McDonald domination once again. Just like we saw in Australia last time out, where it was hectic behind. Maybe he didn't demonstrate that enough. I'll say so, but Shin's been changed all the time. Look at that! 2 seconds pulled out in one sector. Well, we definitely know where Patrick McDonald is strongest then on this circuit compared to the others. But it was crazy in Phillip Island, the battle for a second behind this man. In the end, the German won from nowhere in the second of the race. With Mir down there, Canet down in 5th, losing out. As it looks like he's losing out again to his teammate, 1.4 seconds faster as McDonald. We don't even need to do a second lap. Patrick McDonald has this, as he grabs pole by 1.6 seconds in the end. Somehow the gap got bigger, even though we saw it with Mir, it's just 1.4. Don't understand that. With Canet in second, Mir in third, Fanati in the second row ahead of Martin McPhee, then all Italian third row, with Otto rounding out the top 10 ahead of Berger. Poor qualifying for the Italian ahead of Rodrigo. And right at the back is Finnish Patrick, as he's got the home hero Adam Nouredin in 14th on the 5th row. So can he and McDonald do well in the race? As we still have the wet track, but clear skies, well, cloudy skies with sunshine in the air. So with similar conditions, I don't expect Patrick McDonald to have too much troubles apart from this first corner. A bit of a long run to it. So watch out for this. Mir or McPhee, that's a good start on the warm-up lap, diving down the inside into that first corner. And there's also Canet and Berger go through as well, has right at the back. So we are revving up the engines, waiting for the lights to appear. And go out for this 5-lap race, an important 5-lap race in the context of the championship. And here comes Canet trying to jump McDonald. But the Kenyan does the old chop across, blocks him off. Now breaking into the first corner. Here we go, he's getting barged out the way by McPhee. And it's that Fanati as well as that Martin. Has McDonald right in the pack, down to 7th. But got a superb run. Off the corner, up into 4th ahead of Martin. As McPhee leads, a superb start from the Scot. Got the Italian in 2nd. We've got Mir in 3rd ahead of his teammate. As here goes Martin looking down the inside of McDonald. McDonald holding it around the outside though, has the optimum line in these wet conditions as the Italian takes the lead from McPhee. Oh, look at trying to get past his teammate Mir. being held up by him. He seems to be held up by McPhee, as it's all the M's at the front in the top 4. McDonald looking this way and that way. It's halfway through this opening lap. Actually 5 M's in the top 5. Look at that, we've got Martin behind. And now McPhee slowed down near enough that McDonald can sneak by into second. Maybe into the lead, looking around the outside of the Italian. Not able to outbrake him. He does have the outside, he does have the Octon line, but the Italian holds on. But here comes McDonald round the outside of the right-hander. And holds them off and takes the lead here in Malaysia. Fantastic move once again from McDonald as another Italian is down on the Mahindra from 23rd. As this is a sector where McDonald was faster, of course. In qualifying, they're almost 2 seconds in front now. It shows once again in the race. As we go towards the end of this opening lap. Still got 4 to go. Another Sunday ride for McDonald. But what about for Canet behind? Can he battle his way through McPhee, through Martin, through Mir? Get onto the podium. Because if McDonald leaves here with Canet down like 5th, you could maybe afford to finish 2nd, I believe, in the final race, if my mouse is correct, and Suzuki's down the Japanese rider. So he's not scoring points again. He's getting overshadowed by fellow countryman Sasaki as the season goes on. But through the first couple of corners, McDonald, the track drying as well. These sunny conditions is flying with Martin up to 3rd ahead of McPhee. As we go towards the second sector of this second lap, and 3.4 seconds McDonald leads. Here's a bit of deja vu of a mucky D round there. As we've got Mir ahead of Martin into 3rd. Mir trying to keep his faint title chances hopes alive, but with McDonald where he is, they will be over. You need to win this race, Mir. And he's now got almost 5-second gap to make up to McDonald. He's slightly wide there. And Mir charging through the field. Look at that, up into 2nd. A knife through butter on this lap. It's the Spaniard. Right, thankfully it's not the Spaniard we're worried about. Where is Aron Canet? Is he just waiting until the second of the race to appear? Or like we saw in Japan and Australia, has he been sucked up into the midfield? And he's trapped in that vortex and can't escape. Is that a mushroom cloud in the background? That looks ominous, that cloud right in front of us in the background. Thankfully it isn't though. And Canet's down! Canet has crashed! What a dream race for Patrick McDonald. Tuber's down as well. Has he been collected by Canet? The Spaniard has buckled again. The relentlessness of McDonald grabbing these victories. And Aron Canet has not responded once again. In fact, the opposite has happened, as he got Martin up to 3rd ahead of the Italian. Well, it's the Kenyan that leads 15.4. That's even quicker than his qualifying effort. Of course, the track is a bit drier. But still. We've got another weather master on our hands here. Let's go out with the opening chicane. But for Patrick McDonald, this is a dream race. In Malaysia, you can probably afford not to do that well. Maybe just cruise to a 10th place or something. So we're battling right at the front. But of course, the way he's performing, you want to be right up there. I hope he doesn't push it too much though. Look at this, he's in a beautiful rhythm halfway through this race. And he's going to grab his 9th victory of the season, if I remember correctly. Grabs his first, of course, in Mugello. Was it Mugello? It wasn't Mugello, it was Spain, wasn't it? I forget now. The season is long. The memory is bad. But he has won a heck of a lot in the second half of this season. And to follow up, winning the Rookies Cup in his first season as well. Moto3 title at the first attempt. Future's looking very bright for him. He's progressed through Moto3 quicker than Aron McDonald. It took him 4 seasons to Scott, only taken 2 for the Kenyan. This is after a return of several years away as well. After that Moto3 season, went back home. Worked for a couple of years and then got back on a motorcycle and has not looked back. As we go on to the penultimate lap of the race. Patrick McDonald 2 laps away, throwing one hand on the title. He's got Mir in second, Martin in third. Now, where is Canet in all of this? It's a 14.5 now. So is this going to be a 13.5? You go through chicane. Picking up bike beautifully. The Leopard's working really well. After only working well in Mir's hands in the first third of the season. Loy picked it up in the middle third of the season as well, grabbing top 10s. There's Budego and Martin are battling like hell for third. Looked like the Italian had the upper hand, but now the Spaniards grabbed it back. To go through the S-bend in the middle part of this lap. McDonald really attacking. As Budego up to third, Ed and Martin. The Italians growing back that podium. Looks like Mir settled in second, so we're going to have a Leopard 1-2. Actually, I haven't had many of them this season. Thinking back, because Patrick McDonald, when he hasn't won, he's finished third and then had points scores apart from at the Circuit of the Americas. So this might actually be the first 1-2 of the season for the team. But Juan Mir has been a very good backup here, grabbing second at least. So even if Canet was third, McDonald would definitely be leading points-wise heading into the season finale. With the full 4 of that Spaniard, Valencia maybe his home crowd might give him a couple of tenths that home power, which Nigel Mansell always said it gave him when he was racing F1 round Silverstone or Brands Hatch. It won't matter. Patrick McDonald just performs as he has in the second half of this season, with Martin in third, Budego fourth. Now with the Spaniard grabbing back that position as we head on to the final lap of this race. Even if Canet wins in Valencia, McDonald doesn't have to do too well. Just score solid points like he did in the first 2 races of the season. Not a fast as that 14.4. This has been a race of 1. We could ride around the circuit all day. Patrick McDonald. All week maybe. There's one way so far back they're not even showing the splits in the bottom left. But all the other Italians coming back at Martin. It's like the VR46 riders trying to double team Martin here. But the Spaniard fighting back for the final podium position on this final lap of a crucial, a title swinging Malaysia Motorcycle Grand Prix. It's all taking way too much inside curve there, Patrick McDonald, but keeps the throttle hammered down and survives. He's just got half a lap to go now until another checkered flag. And that would be 7th out of 8 in the second half of the season. Or 6 out of 7. Hang on. But I've got to figure out my maths here. No, it would be 7 out of 8. As there goes the Italian back past Martin. It's 4 M's at the front. As with just a couple of straights to go, you see the VR46 flags waving to the left. It happens everywhere, doesn't it? Even in Spain, occasionally. And of course, they have their new hero in Marquez. Well, not new hero, but hero Marquez, Lorenzo, Pedrosa, Maverick Vinales. Can name half the grid, as that's another victory for McDonald. He knows how important that is. As he wins by almost 20 seconds ahead of Mears, a second ahead of the Italian, who grabs another podium ahead of Martin, with Bastianini in 5th. Berger fell back in the last couple of laps to 6th, a couple of seconds ahead of Antonelli. Then McPhee, Otto and Lloyd grabbing the top 10 ahead of Fenati, Di Gianantonio, Rodrigo, Ramirez and Binder. Canet could just recover to 80 with a non-point score for the Spaniard, as the home hero Nuudin misses out on the point by around a second behind the South African, with the Italian at the back. So in the championship, Patrick McDonald finally leads. And at an important stage with just one race remaining, he heads to the Valencia finale, leading Canet by 20 points. With one way 26 points back in third, just missing out on the title chance, making it a three-way heading to Valencia, but he's just 6 points behind Canet now after the Spaniards DNF, with Martin in 4th, Fenati round at the top 5 ahead of Mino, who's now 9 points ahead of his teammate Berger, who's 14 points ahead of Bastianini, who's 12 points ahead of Hotel, who's 16 points ahead of McPhee, who's just 8 points ahead of Di Gianantonio in the battle for the top 10. As further down, Rodrigo up to 14 ahead of Nuudin and Danilo. And right at the back is Finnish Patrick, as in the constructors standings. Can Honda make it a maximum season, unbeaten season in Valencia? They have 425 points with 25 points remaining, and the KTM by 180 points, with Mahindra and Peugeot not on the scoreboard. As yes, a very enthusiastic McDonald, Leopard clones, and Mir speaking with the town about their battles behind. Perfect reputation weekend, and with one race to go, Patrick McDonald has virtually got the title in his hands. Can he finish the job in Valencia? And let me know where you want Patrick McDonald to ride next season. Will he stick in Moto3 and possibly defend the title, or will he step up to Moto2 and take a charge at winning that title in his rookie season? Let me know down below, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.